All right, so now it's time to actually produce the content from the content plan that we just put together. So here we have our content plan that we just put from the last set of lessons, and we built this basically from the ground up using Google search, using an SEO tool, also not using one, to basically kind of showcase how we can build these content plans that are going to allow a lot of iterative testing. But that's just the beginning. Now we have to actually write this content. How do you do that without having an army of copywriters like we do at our agency? Well, let me show you. We actually we created this tool solely to use this internally, but we found some interest in it from the outside from our clients. So we actually turned it into an app, and now we actually let anybody use this. So we're going to use this tool. It's called the Cookbook, but you basically find it by going to ai.qck.co, and you'll basically be right in here, and you can log in and you can check everything out and run this completely for free. So we're offering it for free for now. So get it while you can. Go ahead and sign up. So we're gonna get started. We're gonna do let's do a fun one here. Maybe one that might be a little bit interesting. Let's do best alternative to energy drinks. That one looks great. Okay, so let's go. Well, you know what? I think I actually do want to have some energy chew concepts. Let's do best energy chews for running. I think that should be good, and we'll basically run with that. See what happens. So first off, though, we do need to put in the website because we need to basically train the AI to write, of course, in our tone, our voice, our language of the brand. Because again, we're trying to basically ghostwrite for the brand here. So also very important to note that, you know, this app, it's basically just a chat GPT wrapper, but it also pulls in a lot of those people also ask APIs and queries that we're actually pulling directly from Google to make sure that we can build this content properly. So the main reason why that this works so well versus, for example, using ChatGPT alone or just a GPT to basically write your content is because a human, you are going to design the content from the ground up by looking at the most asked questions and choosing the ones to basically build your outline and then ultimately write your content between the lines. And then you're going to edit it in a very quick and easy way and then post it to your website. So we're going to walk through all of that here, and this should be pretty enlightening. So first, let's throw in our website here off field. Let's just drop that in there and let's see if this works. This is in beta, but the whole point is basically for it to read the whole homepage, understand what they sell, understand what they're about, and try to basically extract out their tone, their voice, their motto, the type of language they use, and ultimately try to basically capture that essence of their brand. When this works properly, it's going to allow us to, okay, exactly. So it wasn't able to pull it. So let me just try it one more time. Let's try it again. Let's just see if maybe it'll work. If not, we can basically manually do this, which is totally fine. So again, but hopefully by the time you're watching this feature actually works. And the whole purpose here, again, is just to make sure that we train the AI to get it primed up to be able to write for us, to be able to actually like really match the brand intent. And there we go. Boom, we got it. Okay, awesome. Okay, we might have to tune it up a little bit, but off-field, outdoor enthusiasts, campers, nature lovers, we're actually going to switch this up, of course, to runners. So it's going to be runners looking to get started and achieve that runner's high. Boom. Okay, tone, inspirational, adventurous, and informative. I think that's pretty much dead on. I think also enthusiastic, but I'm going to butcher the spelling, but it's fine. Enthusiastic. Boom, done. Okay, short description. Off-field is a brand whose products infuse THC, CBD, along with caffeine and electrolytes into gummies and drinks designed for enthusiast runners. Again, I cannot spell at all, but this should get the point across. This should be able to fix it. Okay, and then motto value, curated selection. Okay, I'm basically going to pull this right from their page here. Let's look at this first one. The best thing to hit runner's high since running shoes were invented. Let's use that. I think that's pretty much perfect. And then we're going to clean this detailed description and basically just utilize this and just talk about that, and then also that this, of course, is kind of our main product. Boom. Perfect. So now we're going to outline it. So that's step one. Also, we're going to save this. So I'm going to save this as off-field. Boom, save. Save as preset. Done. Cool. So now we can actually save this. And you can basically access this through your presets here, which is, again, tied to your Google login. So really easy. Now let's outline it. So this is the fun part. So now, again, our keyword that we're going to go with is going to be best energy chews for running. We're going to drop that in here. And now we're going to create a title. You hit the magic wand. It's going to pull it in here, and we're going to generate. some title options. The title is pretty critical, even if it's just like a collection page, because we can ultimately use this to help guide the AI and how we want to structure this and how we want to write this. So for example, let's look at this. Marathon must have for long distance running, for snacking, energy on the go, quick boost, best energy you choose for running performance. That's pretty interesting. Okay, so the ultimate, I think this is pretty good. The runner's ultimate guide to energy choose. We'll keep it basic. So now let's generate the headings. So you click on the magic wand here, and now it's basically going to pull from Google's API. It's going to pull all these different and scrape all the different most asked questions, all the different topics, everything that we looked at in the prior course lessons as well of how you really structure this content. And then we're going to go through and just choose what we want to do. And this is going to be for the headings, the main major headings. We're going to kind of design the article. And then also for the FAQ section, which is usually at the very bottom of that page there, like we've seen in a few of the examples. Cool. Okay, so let's just choose this in order, right? Because we're going to choose them in the way that makes the most sense. So introduction, no brainer. But I know we're actually going to have an introduction in this anyway, but I think this is fine. We'll do introduction to energy choose for runners. We'll do when to use them, how they can enhance your performance. Actually, let's do how they can enhance your performance first, and then when to use them. We can talk about the ingredients, but maybe that's more for later. We talked about how to use them. Let's see, comparing to other, there we go, comparing to other forms. That's perfect. Then we'll do key ingredients. Let's also do drawbacks, because again, we also want to cover the bad. I think that's pretty important too. And energy gels or energy chews. And let's also be more generic, which supplement is best for the runner. Boom. So that's pretty good. It's a lot of headings there, but I think this should give us a lot to work with. Again, this is going to create very long form content, and then you can always just chop it down, just chop it away. And that's going to be, if we get 3,000 words, we can chop out 500 or 600 of them and kind of leave with what we actually need to use to create a really informative article. Cool. FAQs. So what are they? How do they work? No brainer. Why might a runner prefer them? Boom. Best time to consume them. How many should I take? And can they replace, I don't know about that one, but are they safe for all runners? And do they have any side effects? Boom. I think that's pretty easy. How do they compare to gels? Again, kind of reiterating what this is, but it's more of like just kind of covering the main questions. Boom, continue. And now we can actually look at a couple advanced options just to see if we need to do this. Style, I want this one to actually be motivational. And the perspective, let's make it first person to see what happens. But I think natively it basically kind of auto perspects based on, what the article is all about. But let's try first person and see what it does here. Cool. And then let's also look at some other settings here. We do want it to have meta description. We want it to have key takeaways, really important. We want the headings, CTA, conclusion, FAQs. We want all that. You can actually choose also the AI you want. And we're going to use a blog, even though I know this is a Shopple article. This will give us that long form content that we can chop up really nicely. We're going to use OpenAI for this. Cool. So now we're going to start cooking. And so now this is going to basically build the article. It's going to basically go through and it's going to basically go heading by heading. It's going to structure it perfectly, because also posting these articles are really important that you post it the right way too. It's going to structure it perfectly. It's going to build it out, and it's going to give us a lot of copy that we can ultimately then chop down and just basically slowly clean up. And that's going to be really, really critical. So in the meantime, though, I'm also going to go ahead and open up a Google document here. Let's see, new Google Doc. Because again, we're gonna ultimately export this, and then we're gonna import it. We're gonna export it to Word, and then we're gonna import it into, boom, the Google Doc. So let's go back here. Still cooking, takes about a minute or so, and then it'll be good to go. Boom, look at that. So we have 5,000 words, way more than we need. But look at this, it nailed the URL just like we want, and pulled out a pretty strong overall meta description here. Discover how to achieve the ultimate runner's high. I think I don't want to use discover. I maybe want to say like find out how to achieve the ultimate runner's high with the best energy choose for running. Again, we're using that keyword there, best energy choose for running. We're using it there, using it here. We're going to be using it in the title tag and everything else basically across the board. In the H1, all of it. So boom. Cool. Okay. Now we have basically the main takeaways. They significantly enhance running performance, which is awesome. They off-field energy choose are a comprehensive strategy for boosting hydration. That kind of makes sense. I don't really like that they use strategy, so we're going to actually edit that one. Choose the right moment to use. Okay, yeah. So I'm basically just going to rewrite this and say, make more concise and really speak to off fields value propositions. Boom. Let's see what happens. So we're basically going to rewrite this bad boy, and just again to make just that key takeaway section. So okay, cool. I like this, but I want this to be make it 3 bullet points. Boom. Done. Let's try it again. See if we can get it. See if we can get what we want here. And then boom, there we go. There we go. Perfect. Optimal hydration. Yeah, dude, that's it. Nailed it. That's exactly what we want. We want to see that. That's so perfect. So that's exactly the perfect key takeaways there. Awesome. So introduction, boom, in first person. I've embarked on an unparalleled journey where every stride doesn't only bring me closer to the finish line, but also ushers me into a new world of vibrant energy. I'm just going to say here, tone down, or actually like make this less flowery language, more concise. Cool. Let's try that and see what happens. But yeah, so this is really important to kind of keep tuning this until you get it to sound like you want it to sound. Boom. Look at that. This guide aims to cut out the fluff and aims to basically tell you exactly what you need to know. Cool. We'll work with that. Energy, or introduction into energy choose. Boom. Setting off my running journey has always been an incredible adventure filled with challenges, breathtaking sights. Again, you could probably make that less flowery, but for now, I think we're good. We may chop up a couple of these paragraphs down the road once we get this thing posted. A CTA, the written contextual CTA. Important to definitely have this, so we're going to leave this in here for now. But this just allows us to also embed internal linking opportunities to link to the product pages, to link to collections, to link to home pages or landing pages, anything we can. This is super useful, just as useful as the visual CTAs like we talked about in earlier lessons. So we got all the headings here with H3s, pretty important to note. Actually, let's go ahead and make these H3s. So just because they're not, so we'll do this in post, but basically we'll make these main things H3s basically. So let me see if I can just boom and boom. Look at that. Perfect. So we're going to do that as well. We're going to make these guys H3s because again, it's really important that Google can understand exactly why or how our energy choose can enhance our performance, which is an H2. So that's why it's really important that we basically kind of pull these things out and make these bad boys H3s. So then whenever Google is crawling the page, it's a no-brainer. So just gonna make that there, which we talked about this in an earlier lesson. So important note. And then cool. And then, okay, yeah, this looks good. H3, H2, H3. Look, it already did it there perfectly and nailed it. This, you could probably do the same thing. We're just going to leave it like this for now. Key ingredients, boom, it pulled out the CBD and THC. That's awesome. Nature's Symphony. It's pretty nice. I like that. So that's great. Side effects, drawbacks. I think we could probably, yeah, start. Dude, look at that. That's actually dead on. Small servings. Completely agreed from my personal experience. Start small servings, and you can build up to that proper runner's high. And then boom, yeah, it pretty much goes into everything. And I think this is actually super good. And then boom, it has all of our FAQs down here. We should make these H3s for sure, because this is going to be H2. I'll make these bad boys H3s just for the article 2 export here. So once we get that, then we will export it to Word. And so we're working on the Google Doc export feature, but for now, let's export it to Word, and we're just going to download the template. And boom, it's done. And so now I'm actually going to upload this into Google Docs. And let me do that right now. So let me just go to, okay, I'll just actually copy and paste it here. Just 2 seconds. Okay. Boom. Okay, so this is, boom. Okay, so this is our actual output. So this is exactly what it looks like. You can even see where Google actually sees the headings too as well perfectly. So it's all actually already formatted properly. So then you have your proposed URL to upload, you got your title tag, you've got your meta description. And again, we're using the main keyword there for running right there. We're using the main keyword there. We're using the main keyword here as the H1. We're using it in the meta description. We're using it naturally everywhere. And that is how you make things rank. To be very clear, that's so critical that Google does not have to guess. They understand exactly how this should be structured, and it's kind of a no-brainer. So again, just kind of calling out the intent as well, so that way you can kind of understand where this goes. This is for middle of funnel. It's pretty important. This is where you put your featured image, period, which you can ultimately create in Canva. You can use AI to generate a lot of different options there. We have the key takeaways in list format, like we talked about. We have, this is where you put your first visual CTA, which is like what we talked about with these, for example, interval training. Like this is one of our other clients. I know we talked about this in an earlier lesson, I think in the blog section or the knowledge center, one of the two. But like we're basically, you create these images in Canva that ultimately look like clickable buttons, but they're not. It's just an image. And when you click on it, it of course goes to your core product or to your core collection page. But you're basically convincing people. It's like an internal advert. Helps you convince them why they should be clicking on your page, why they should be ultimately learning more about your product, and why they should convert. Because again, we're trying to convert this traffic, period. So super critical. So you put that there. Again, then you can start chopping out paragraphs. Let's chop this paragraph out. Don't need that one. Just again, as you're kind of going through this and kind of cleaning it up. Awesome. So let's say that we're good with this. This looks great. I know it's super long, but you also even have a section to add to other blogs, like also read. This stuff is really critical to really push the internal linking. And so now, and make sure this pulled through right, and it did. So it's H3, and let me just check this in H2. H2, yep, dead on. Okay. So now we're going to do this awesome thing, because posting it is also a pain. That's where a lot of the difficulty lies, for sure. So I'm going to basically copy all of this, and we are going to put it in one of my favorite tools, which is going to be Word to HTML. Boom. So this is going to allow us to basically, let me just clear this out. This is going to basically allow us to just ultimately just basically get a much more cleaned up version of all of this in the HTML, and allow us to just post the HTML, which is going to be so much easier than us manually going through and actually marking all these different headings perfectly. This is like a massive, massive shortcut to posting. It's going to allow you to scale content creation so much faster. And any CMS can allow you to basically post this code. And I'm going to show you specifically Shopify here in a second, but super, super easy to basically get this going. And once you get it posted with this exact format, it'll just be so much easier to get all the headings right and get all the perfect SEO perfectly right out the gate, because it's so important that you get that. Of course, these would be replaced with the proper images, everything, etc. So let's go into Shopify really quickly. And yeah, we're going to go into Shopify, and I'm going to show you how to post this as if we're posting this to our website, for example. So editor, please pause it there and kind of cut me in after I've logged in, because I don't want the viewers to actually see me logging into our Shopify system. Would be ideal. So let me go to that really quick. Do. Okay, so now that we've logged into Shopify, this is our website, which of course, how can we service e-commerce clients without putting our own website on Shopify? So important to note, we're also on Shopify ourselves. So we're going to basically go to blog posts, and you're going to actually write a new blog post. So we're going to do add blog post, and you're going to click here, and you're going to go to show HTML. And this is where you're actually going to go back here, and you're going to copy all of this, all this HTML actually. Oop, here we go, copy to clipboard. That's easy. We'll just do that, copy to clipboard. Then we're going to go here, and you're going to paste it in there. Oop, that only copied the portion. So hold on, let me try that one more time. I'm going to go back here, going to give me everything, copy to clipboard, go back to here, and paste. Boom, now we got everything. Okay, and then of course we have some other pieces we need to add, like the title. So let's go back to our actual page here. So we got the title. The title is The Runner's Guide to Ultimate Energy Chews. And again, this would be if we're going to use this as a blog, right? So we're going to go back here. Even though it's a Shopify article, you would do this similarly, just using the rich text. So important to note. But you put the title there, boom. You're going to go to edit SEO, and you see where it kind of creates all this stuff on its own. We don't want them to do that. We do not want Google to guess, so we do not want to give them information that is not going to help us get the job done. So the pros URL, best energy chews for running. This document closer. We're going to put that here. The page title is good, but we're going to adjust that too. But we're going to put this here. Best energy chews for running. Boom. So the URL is dead on. We're going to use the title tag right here. Best energy chews for running guide off field. Boom, like that. Just like that. Okay. And then the meta description we want to pull with this one right here. I don't know why Shopify shows that you have 320 characters when in reality it's like 160. But ultimately, we don't really want to go over. It's okay to go shorter. It's not really that big of a deal, but I think this is definitely optimal. So boom, throw that in there, and we are good to go. Then basically, we would just, of course, clean it up, add the right photos. But overall, this really gets the point across. So I'm going to save it. and I'm going to preview it. But this will kind of give you an idea. So of course, if I had a featured image, if I had everything else here, this at least nails, absolutely nails the HTML. So of course, like why a lot of these things aren't popping right and like really kind of showing up really good is because our CSS on our site, we do need to edit that a little bit to make that pop better. But you get the idea where all of this is just already basically plug and play. And if you could see my HTML plugin, you'll see that all of this is absolutely perfect. So all the headings are coming in properly. All the paragraph tags are coming in properly. There's so many different angles. Important to note as well, though, that there's actually one other way that you can clean this up because there's a lot of kind of mess in here as well, too, like all these different paragraph tags. And you can actually use a different one, which is, I think, Google Doc to HTML, and that will actually clean it up a little bit better. It's in here somewhere. There's one somewhere that basically works really, really well. And that's one of the ways where it also cleans up all the different Google Doc information that is not super awesome. This might be it right here, actually. Yep, boom. So basically, yeah, you basically just drop the Google Doc in there and then it will pretty much like load in. But this kind of gives you just a really good idea of how you can basically scale out content super, super quickly and just keep iterating and keep iterating. Again, the goal is like we talked about, this is like a little apartment that's going to collect rent and get you more and more money. SEO is like a real estate play. You want as many little assets as you can, producing revenue, producing monthly returns. This is exactly what SEO is. So the more pages you get live, once they start to rank, you can of course go back and edit them on the back end. But in the beginning, we just need to get these pages to rank. And that's the goal. And to do that, you start creating them. You keep creating them and you keep posting them. So that way, once you're kind of going down this list, you basically created all these. The Shopable articles, though, like we talked about, the big difference, I know we made this as a blog. The Shopable article, for example, you can book a meeting with us and we'll show you how to build these, but it's basically just a template that uses meta fields to ultimately populate these different text boxes. But all you're doing is you're just doing the same thing, pasting the HTML into the meta field, and it allows it to populate. You can do this for anything. Every single CMS out there has a rich text editor. And so you can just copy and paste the code right into it. And that's a lot of how the magic of how our system works and allows you to scale this content effortlessly. Of course, if you work with us, though, we have an army of editors that's actually editing this content and making sure it's hyper on brand. It's not 4,000 words. It'll be like kind of in the sweet spot, like right around 2,000 to 2,500. And it'll perform very, very well because it will be as if you wrote it yourself. So ultimately, that's probably another step you could also take on your end if you have time. But if you're watching this video, you may not. You may be a small team or by yourself that's bootstrapped that just needs to leverage as much effectiveness as you can, which is why we do everything for you if you work with us. But I mean, at the end of the day, you guys can do this. I'm giving you all the tools, all the help you need, all the tutorials. And if you have any questions at all, do not hesitate to reach out. But posting the content and posting it right is absolutely critical, making sure you nail that HTML. And I'm going to show you here in the next couple lessons why that is so important. So cool. Awesome. Hope you got some use out of this. Please go ahead and go to ai.qck.co, log in, try it out. It's completely free. It'll be free for a limited time for anyone that's watching this and signing up. And yeah, enjoy. And if you have any questions as you go through this, let me know. Talk soon.